So what I remember was in this like woodland clearing. There were like mountain biking trails and like ATV trails, just like in every direction kind of. It was just like all these different like trails and paths just kind of met in this clearing, and they all just went out in like every direction. And then it started. It was like daytime. It was like clear. I think it was like overcast, but it wasn't like dark. I mean, this was after. This was like right after I think right after I got back from the cemetery. Or at least I think, because I remember leaving the cemetery after it wasn't them, probably just someone else, but after that car pulled up, I remember getting my things ready to leave the cemetery. And then the next thing I know is I'm just in this, just clearing. And I don't know if this was like a dream. I don't know, because I woke up next morning, perfectly normal in my house, in my bed. It was probably just a dream, and I just forgot. I just forgotten the entire, walk home. But that's what I remember. It was that, the dream sequence, and then I woke up. Everything was normal, when I woke up, but back in the dream is what I'm calling it, because there's no actual evidence that it's real, that it actually happened. Obviously, although I just thought it was weird that I didn't remember anything in between having the dream and leaving the cemetery. But anyway, in this wooden area, just this clearing, it was overcast, but then the sky just like, completely just turned dark. Nighttime, stars in the sky, very similar to that. And it was one of those moments where it's like, very still. It was just like at the cemetery, except with all these trees around me instead of, the cemetery. I remember there was, I could see all the stars. The sky was very clear. It was a very clear night sky. I don't remember if it was the same exact, sky that I'd seen at the cemetery, but I don't know. But it was very still, very quiet. It was one of those, there was no sound. You could hear, I could hear my heart beating almost. It was that quiet, that still. You were just aware of everything that goes on. And then just all of a sudden, just this huge, just wall of noise just starts screaming from all of these paths around me, just out of nowhere. It was just completely dead, deafening silence, and then just incredibly deafening noise, just coming at me. And then I remember feeling something grab me like this, my hands on like both sides of my head, and yanking me like upward, like violently, just pulling me like upwards past like up the tree line, just like I was like in the sky. But it was like breakneck speed, and it all happened in the same instant, like the noise and that, from such a dead silence. Gave me like a heart attack. Although I can't remember. I don't really remember what I felt like at that moment, but that definitely sounds like it would give you a good jump, a good startle. And then I looked up because whatever had grabbed me had made me like just look directly up into the sky. And I don't remember if my entire body was like horizontal or if it was just my head that was tilted up. I can't remember. And as soon as the pressure left the sides of my head, the noise, it didn't stop, but it mostly stopped. But there was this very rhythmic, like buzz. It's very low. It was like a very low buzz. It's kind of like unplugging a amplifier. Except it was still very loud, but it wasn't just every noise imaginable. It was just that one hum. And as I looked, and then the hum kind of just split apart into like separate, I guess, like frequencies or separate pitches. It just like kind of, and they each grew in number, just the sheer amount of them. And then as I was looking up at the sky, it was like someone had just like punched a hole in the middle of a piece of paper, and then it was like I could almost see, it was like almost like the sky like cracked, like there was like an actual crack in the sky, and then just it broke away. And then there was the sun, or like a star or something in the middle of just the whole giant hole in the sky. So I don't know how to describe this dream. It's really weird. And then just this like spiraling lights, like tons of them, just kind of like spiraled down. Not in like a cone around me, but it was like across the entire sky, I guess. I mean, it's like if the sky was like a dome, then just the like lights were just like spiraling to the edges of the dome, and I was in the middle where the sun was just, or the star was just like shining, and it was like day. Like where I was at, I'm assuming like the center of this dome, it was day. And then everything started like shaking as the buzzing noise kind of fizzled. It wasn't, it's like, there's just more and more of these buzzing, and it keeps getting louder, but then it's just like breaking up, like the actual sound is just breaking up. And then I remember waking up, just that was the end of the dream, that was it. I remember waking up in my bed, outside, and then my camera is just sitting in the field where I think I remember putting it, but it's like I don't remember putting it there. I'm assuming I did, because, that makes sense. No one else obviously did it. That's all I can say.